May it be an evening star shines down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your heart will.
Recent elections held in the districts of Jinja, Arua and Bugiri registered incidents of election violence, with Arua recording the worst cases pre-election, D-Day and post-election. The Arua municipality MP seat fell vacant after the gruesome murder of Honorable Ibrahim Abiriga in June 2018. The final day of the campaigning in Arua was epic. All political bigwigs on either side of political divide, NRM party chairman and president of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, opposition leading Light Kizza Besigye, and one threatening to take the shine, Kyadondo East MP, Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bobby Wine, among others on the last stretch, making a case for their preferred candidate.
It is important that we give young people opportunity to also show what they can do.
The ensuing energy of rival camps brewed provocations and later brawl that recorded some of the worst cases of torture and human rights abuses ever witnessed in an election exercise in the country.
Wakati tunaenda hivi, kwanza tumefika hapo kwa waksi. Watu hao walianza kutupiga, tukarudi nyuma. Alafu wakati tumerudi nyuma, tumeanza tena safari mpya. Tumeanza safari ya kwenda, wakati tunafika hospitali pale, watu wameanza kupiga risasi. Niliumizwa wakati wanapiga watu mwenye walikuwa juu ya grader. Walikuwa naanguka, walikuwa nasukuma watu, walikuwa napiga watu na fimbo. Ndio nilianguka kama kwenye simu sasa. Sasa siwezi kufanya kazi ngumu, hata safisha nguo siwezi kusafisha, hata kusonga ugali mimi siwezi kusonga. Kama ugali, maji ya ugali iko tayari, wa jirani ndio nawaita wanakuja kusonga kwa.
Got some guys, they slapped me on my left hand side, the other eyes. They slapped me, even the eyes, my eyes, the one side was red like that. Even I was just using what eyebrows.
The stretch marks of a highly flammable process had quite revealed early. The Citizens Coalition for Electoral Democracy in Uganda, CEDU, an election observer body, was suspended by the Electoral Commission on 4th July 2018, weeks before the Arua municipality by-election. What was government hiding? Some would ask.
Arua was more violence, more use of lethal power, and on the election day, what we saw was military election observation as opposed to election observation by civilians.
Election observers are very, very important because they help us, measure our performance so that we can benchmark ourselves against that performance and know where to improve and probably what to discard in the process.
By the time the storm had withered, 33 people, including members of parliament, had been arrested by security forces. Later, these were charged with treason for allegedly attempting to harm the president of Uganda, following allegations of the president's convoy being pelted with stones by supporters of the opposition.
And the RPC happened to stop us, to control the way as the president was heading to the barracks in Uganda. Respect and leave the way for the president to pass. And they went successfully. Those people were now heading to town. On our back we had gunshots. But on the 14th, that's when we come and hear that the president convoy was stoned. So we don't know who stoned the vehicle, we don't know anything about that, but basically that is the statement which came from the security personnel.
The suspects appeared in court in a helpless health state. Notable MPs and other members of the public were seen with grievous bodily injuries, allegedly resulting out of torture while in custody of security agencies. 30-year-old Michael Abiriga is one of the victims that escaped death narrowly after he was shot in the chest.
When I was coming from the rally, and there was also a crowd. From there, people started running, and from there I also had a gunshot. That's where I got myself down, and I was taken to hospital.
Andrew Natumanya, an official photographer of Chadondo East MP Honorable Robert Chagulanyi, shares his ordeal in the Arua fracas.
So after they shot our friend, he told me, please go down, use your cameras, and start recording whatever is happening. Little did we know that no cameras were allowed at the scene. So when I took the photo, there was a flash. So the security operatives that were around saw a flash. That is where they started beating whoever. Sabiti of NBS TV was beaten in my sight. Herbert Ziwa of NTV was beaten in my sight. I asked myself, what am I doing here? Because these are people who are even beating media personnel. People who are branded, press that is branded. I took that photo and took it to Bobby Wine. I told him, this is our colleague, he has been shot.
As he recounts, he points out a statement made by the Honorable Chagulanyi at the final rally in Arua that could have sparked off the events that followed.
Bobby made it clear to the whole nation that we are on a mission to remove Museveni from power. I remember that statement very well. To my understanding, that is the statement that annoyed Museveni.
In various parts of the country and abroad, streets had taken on popular anti-regime response over the treatment of legislators and citizens in Arua. The force responded with force. The Fourth Estate not spared.
It is indiscipline. You cannot hand a civilian who has no case, who is not a suspect for anything. You cannot, in any case, beat up a journalist for whatever reason. That one is unacceptable, totally unacceptable.
Yet to be confirmed reports indicate 5 people lost their lives in the election-related violence around the Arua municipality by-election held on 15th August 2018. Yasin Kauma, the driver of Honorable Robert Chagulanyi, was the first victim shot dead in his boss's pickup truck 2 days to the election in Arua municipality.
We took around 6 people who were shot to Rema Hospital, and these people, none of them died. They were rescued and treated.
One killed in Kanoni, Gomba, Bobby Wine's town where he's born. There was one killed in Mukono. There are others who are killed and we do not know. There are those that they pick in the night and they kill them. So the numerics really, you cannot be sure they are 5.
Tracing the past perhaps predicts a clear view of what was to happen. On the eve of the burial of the slain Arua MP Ibrahim Abiriga, the deceased MP was highlight of a burial that defied traditional custom.
But we thought, yes, according to their culture, from from what they told us. That's what happens when someone is killed in cold blood.
During a press conference at Foundation for Human Rights Initiative, civil society organizations condemned the torture of the Arua by-election victims.
An urgent political dialogue between the government and the European Union foreseen under Article 8 of the Cotonou Partnership Agreement should be held to ensure discussion and commitment to respect the human rights.
The head of state wasn't all too impressed. In his official social media handles, he attacked the police, blaming the scuffle on weak management. The president also warned human rights organizations and referred to them as agents of imperialists' interests. Civil society organs, however, disagree.
The idea that civil society's demand for this right has a relationship with foreign agents is totally bizarre. You know, these are rights that we are supposed to enjoy. These rights are entrenched in our constitution. These rights may have their origin in Western societies, but they are rights that we have domesticated, that they are rights that we contain in our constitution. And it's totally absurd to suggest that claiming the enjoyment of that right means that we are agents of foreign government.
President Museveni recently, in a response to the Speaker of Parliament over torture meted to MPs and civilians by the army recently, praised the army and also revealed that he ordered the UPDF in what he termed as to protect people and property of Arua. Questions on how country can conduct herself better in election exercises were posed.
So, there should be transparency, there should be faithfulness by the government organs which are responsible to organize elections.
I think we need to come up with very tough laws on the basis of which people should be seriously reprimanded if they commit such violent acts.
Early this year, SEDU coordinator Crispin Kaheru wrote to the president calling for electoral reforms against the backdrop of the same recommendations from the Supreme Court.
You hear that 80% of Ugandans have summoned government to institute credible, constructive electoral reforms. It means that Ugandans are dissatisfied with the way elections are being run today.
Analysts argue that beyond the legislative tier of reforms, public civic education is equally crucial as a measure to sustain values like democracy, justice, and peace in electoral practices.